Hello, Journey Junkie tribe. Hello, yoga community, and welcome back to the mat. Today, you are in for such a special treat with a yin yoga sequence for lower back pain. The goal today is to release stored tension and do it in a way that benefits each of us. So before I get started, I want to give all of us permission to modify, to create whatever shape variation you need, or to come out of the posture completely if you are not feeling like your best self within the pose. Also being really aware of the 3 P's, pinching, pain, or piercing. If any of those arise, please come out of the posture, rearrange yourself, or maybe take a child's pose for that part of the sequence, knowing that you are your best teacher and I am simply your guide. I will be using a bolster, 2 blocks, a strap, an eye pillow for Shavasana at the end. So gather all of your yoga props. Make sure you're in some really comfortable gear, that you set aside time for this lengthy practice, and that you're in the mindset to receive relaxation and restoration and rejuvenation for your body, mind, and soul. Whew, that was a lot of words. Before you unroll your mat as well, always make sure you click the link in the description below to come join our online tribe. We are waiting for you. Come join us. And with that said, let's get started with this yin yoga sequence. All right, here we go. We're on our mats. We're starting in what's called butterfly pose in the yin yoga world. It's what we refer to in the yang practice as diamond pose. So yin, it's a cooling, it's a restorative practice. And then our yang practice is our powerful vinyasa flow. So you'll be hearing familiar names, but then the shapes will be a little different. So this is butterfly pose, or what we call diamond pose sometimes. You're creating a diamond-like shape with the body. If you find it hard to fold forward here, feel free to prop your bum up on a blanket to find the tipping of the pelvis. So arrange your props. As you can see, I have 2 blocks ready for my head to rest upon as I fold forward. So prop yourself up, get ready. We will be in this posture for 5 minutes, 5 whole minutes. So take a big breath if you need to come into the moment. And then let's fold forward into this butterfly shape. Knowing that the goal of this pose is not the hips. So if all of the tension is in the hips, you can prop blocks underneath the legs here so that the tension is released from the spine. The focus is the spine today. So we want the back nice and round. And allow yourself to spill forward. Taking any cleansing breaths you need, bringing the mind into the body, preparing yourself for this moment. I won't be doing a lot of talking this sequence, so this is your opportunity to really tune out so you can tune back in. With that said, 5 minutes, let yourself completely melt into this butterfly shape. Last minute in this shape. Allow yourself to relax further, sink deeper, restore your body. Last inhale here. Exhale to release. Slowly, with care, lift the head, lift the torso back up. Push the blocks out in front of you if you had them there. Bring the hands behind the back to face the front of the mat. And we'll windshield wipe our legs for a minute from side to side. So each pose we do, each long hold that we do, will have a counter posture to the pose. Take your time here. There's no rush. Our next pose is caterpillar, or what we know as Paschimottanasana. So finish up your windshield wiping. Extend the legs long in front of you. For this variation, we don't want to point or flex the toes. We really want to sink into the shape, sink into the body. No force is necessary. We are holding the pose for 8 minutes. So I really want you to find a comfortable way to rest your head. You can prop a bolster and then do a block. You can build a block tower like I'm doing here. But make any adjustments you need to. And we've got 8 minutes on the clock. So slowly wind yourself forward so that you can completely relax the head. You can also just let the head hang. Back is nice and rounded. Legs are hanging out for once they don't have to do a lot of work. Take a breath to come into the pose and allow yourself to melt. Surrender. Feel deeply into the posture. If you find your mind wandering, which it will, invite the breath back into the conversation.
Use your breath to bring the mind into the body and further relax into the space, becoming present and aware of what is unfolding here in this moment. Always remembering to recruit the breath back. We have 2 more minutes in this posture. Soak up that time. Continue folding into the shape, folding into yourself. Continue breathing. more breath here. Big inhale. Open the mouth, let it go. Really take your time coming out of this pose.
Okay, moving into hammock pose as our counter posture, which is also known as reverse tabletop. Bending the knees, planting the feet. Hands come behind the back, facing the front of the mat. And you'll lift and lower your hips for 1 minute. So no rules, just lift to your height, what feels good. And lower back down. 1 minute. Really take your time with everything you do here on the mat today. Couple more moments. Finishing up your last hammock. And we're moving into Sphinx pose, which I believe is actually called Sphinx in the Yin Yoga world. Find your bolster if you have one. You can also just do regular Sphinx on your forearms, but I find we will be holding it for 3 minutes. So I find that props, I always welcome their help. We come into it just like we normally do, extend the legs back behind you. If you're using the bolster, you bring the elbows in front of the bolster, lowering yourself down onto the mat. So this sequence is all about creating a healthy amount of compression in the lower back area. Healthy meaning what works for your body. Alrighty, so make your way into Sphinx pose. Find what feels good. And we have 3 minutes. Feel free to close your eyes here. Drop into the shape, drop into the moment. For this last minute, you have the option to bend the legs and send the heels towards the glutes, finding a little bit more compression within the pose. One more minute. Last breath. If you're on the bolster, release it. We're all making our way down to the bellies, placing one hand on top of one another and resting the forehead on the hands. Take your time. Once you get down there, we have 1 minute in that shape.
This is our counter posture to Sphinx pose. Enjoy this moment. One last breath here, big inhale. Let it go. Coming into seal pose now, which is a deeper back bend than Sphinx. So if Sphinx was enough for you, go back to Sphinx. We're holding for 3 minutes again. Seal pose, you position your hands out as if you have seal flippers. So fingertips pointing off the mat. The wider your hands, the less the back bend. So on an inhale, you push into the earth and lift the chest. And we're holding for 3 minutes, yeah. If you need to adjust the hands partway through, feel free to do that. Close the eyes. Also, if you find that the lower back is starting to aggravate you, pull the navel towards the spine, so lift the belly. Also knowing that if you've come halfway and you feel like you need to come into Sphinx, you have the permission to do that. We're about halfway there.
inhale. Exhale back down to the ground. Bring the hands to goal pose with elbows above the shoulders. You're going to relax onto your right ear and then hike the left knee up towards the chest. So bring the knee in line with the hip and allow the foot to just hang. You don't need to flex it. And right ear comes down to the mat. Hands can come overhead and let everything go. 1 minute on each side. This is a restorative half frog pose. Use this moment to send your breath intentionally to your low back region. Last inhale. Slowly extend the left leg back and long. Moving on to the other side. Take your time here. First, hiking the right knee up towards the chest, bringing it in line with the hip. Letting the foot just dangle back behind you. Coming onto the left ear. Taking your time and bringing the hands overhead. In these counter postures, it's incredibly important to let the activation, the energy go. Stop holding on, which is easier said than done. But the longer we hold it, the more we let go. So see if you can let go a little bit more here. Last inhale. Exhale. Slowly send that right leg back. Take your time. Come up out of the pose. We're coming all the way up onto our knees into a kneeling position. Working into Supta Virasana, or what is called saddle pose in the yin world. So this posture is for someone who has a lot of flexibility in their knees and their quadriceps. I do not, so I will show you how I set up for the pose. And for those of you who can go straight back into it, you're coming into Virasana, you're sitting between the heels and you're laying all the way down. For those of you who want some assistance, I like to build a block tower here, like so, rest my bolster on top of it, like so. And I even recruit a blanket to go in between my knees here. So I'm taking like extra precautions. How you would do this is line yourself up. Your feet are on the outsides of the bolsters here. Bring the blanket right into the crease. And you want it on the thin setting, okay? Get yourself situated. And then you'll slowly drape your body back over the bolster, with the bottom of the bolster lining up with your bum, your lower back area, okay? Once you're ready, we have 3 minutes on the clock. If you find too much compression in the low back, come up, come out of the posture. Again, your job is to sink into the pose, sink into your breath, allow the body to make the shape and to restore at the same time. Settle in, stick with your breath. Last inhale. Let it go. If you're all the way down, use your forearms to help lift you. If you're on a bolster, hug the hip points up. For all of us, hug the hip points up, push into the ground. Use your upper body strength to lift yourself back up. And coming into forearm plank, surprisingly, which is the counter pose here. So remove any props you had off to the side. Take your time, no big rush. Obviously, there's no rush. And when you're ready, we'll come forward into forearm plank, knowing that you can keep your knees down here. Just come straight into it. Don't make any drama about it and breathe. Few more breaths. Last inhale. Exhale. Set the knees down. Take them nice and wide. Find child's pose for 1 minute. Last inhale. Let it go. Start to lift the torso on an inhale. Extend the legs out in front of you. We're coming into Banana Asana, and then Apanasana. So lie back onto your back and begin to send your legs over to the left. So feet walk over to the left. The torso comes over to the left. Use your left hand to clasp your right wrist. You can find a little bit more space. And if you want, for more depth, you can cross the right ankle over the left. You can also play with crossing the left ankle over the right. There's no right or wrong. You do want your hips on the ground. So we don't want the right hip hinging and lifting up. We're here for 4 minutes. So settle in. Relax and enjoy the pose.
One more minute here in this shape. See if you can release more, sink deeper, relax harder. Last inhale. Let it go. Slowly release everything. Bring the body back into neutral and hug both knees into the chest. Take the knees wide and make circles on the ceiling with your legs, with your knees. Your time, go the other way. And release back down to the ground. Taking banana asana on the other side, walking the legs over to the right, the body over to the right as well. Clasping right hand around left wrist. And choosing if you want to cross any ankle or no ankle, you choose. Settle in. We've got 4 minutes on this side. last minute here in this shape. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go. Release the posture. Again, find Apanasana, knees into the chest. This time, rocking from side to side, massaging the low back for a whole minute, doing what feels good here. This is our final posture before we make our way into Shavasana. So do any last movements that you need. I will be taking Shavasana with a bolster underneath my knees for added support to help release the low back. Feel free to do that with me. You can also do legs up the wall if you like that. You can also take a restorative bridge, but find what feels good right now. I'm also going to use my eye blanket or my eye pillow and a blanket behind my head. So set yourself up. This is a 10-minute Shavasana. Once we get into it, you're on your own. So thank you so much for joining me on the mat for this really special and restorative practice. And start making your way into your final resting pose now. Again, like I said, I recommend 10 minutes here. You do what you need, maybe longer, maybe less. And enjoy these last moments taking care of your body, mind, and soul on the mat.